Fantastic. I think we're going.
All right, we're live. We're live here. Welcome to the Sales Talk Show, episode 7. Can you believe it, David? Can you believe we're at
Here we go.
episode 7? This is unbelievable.
Perfect number. Perfect number
Building-
7, right?
Building relationships with clients that last a lifetime. Today's show is brought to you, as always, from Metal Pless, clearing the way for a safer environment. Always copied, never duplicated. Got to get that right. Always copied, never duplicated. Thanks to our partners at Metal Pless. They are just incredibly supportive of the Sales Talk Show. We can't thank them enough for everything they do. And we look forward to, this is an invitation, a standing invitation from us to go up and visit them at some point. So we're going to get that on the calendar. But today's show, we got a great show planned for you. Building relationship with clients that last a lifetime. We've got a guest, Patrick Sears from Site One, great friend, industry professional. Really looking forward to what he has to say about his career path and how he's been able to, nurture and develop successful relationships with clients that he calls, friends. Just lifetime of networking he's done, and he's really developed a nice little platform for himself to be successful. But before we get into today's show, I'd like to just give the listeners a quick recap of the last show, Sales That Scale. We had a blast talking about that, David. You and I spent some time back and forth, just sharing some tidbits of information that we personally use and are successful with. So a couple of things that David and I talked about was, scaling your business with the right business, finding your business, the verticals that really work for your business, not going outside of your lane, so to say. So that was really kind of cool to be able to spend some time on that to make sure you're scaling your business with the right new clients. The other one is best practices around planning and setting goals. I think there's a lot of people that have goal setting techniques, but I think we shared a couple of ways that we do it, and things that may be able to, they can integrate into their best practices. The other one is, keeping your clients happy. How do you get in front of your customers and create happy clients, right? That's the way to scale your business, right? If your clients are happy and the clients are what you're doing, they're interested in working with you and learning more. It just seems to be, an excellent way to scale your business. And then the other thing is, how do we share with our employees? How do we share our employees and get them excited about growth, right? Because without them, we can't grow the businesses. So those are the things that we talked about last time. If you missed the show, you can always catch us on Spotify, Apple, iTunes, YouTube, our YouTube channel, talk show. That's where you can track us down. We're just getting some great traction, some great listeners. Comments on LinkedIn have just been really supportive. So we're excited that this is really working to give back to the industry. But David, before we get into the show and all the great stuff we have, I love to be able to circle back to the mission statement. Why we're putting this thing on. Why are we doing this? Tell your listeners why we're doing it and how it came to be.
Yeah, and I think that's a great segue to even tying in with the last episode where we chatted about the things that drive success in our organizations. How do we scale? What are the tools that we need to scale? But it's got to be with our teams, right? We need to rely on how we invest and grow our people, and of course, that's been the baseline of why we've launched this show, right? What is the Sales Talk Show about? What's our ether? What do we love? Why are we doing this? And really, our mission was developed as a result right from the very beginning, which was to support the service industry, to support and raise up the next generation with education, right? And real world experiences that we can share and that our guests can share to give back, right? Through practical learning and providing a platform as well for our suppliers and our industry partners to be part of this, because they are such a huge part of what we're doing here at the Sales Talk Show.
Huge.
So that's it. I mean, that's the objective.
As businesses grow, and to reference to Sales That Scale, there are businesses that grow, but you don't grow without great people and great vendor partnerships. So the vendor partnerships are really like an extension of our business, right? How do we deliver such great work? We have to rely on our vendor partnerships. So, with that said, let's listen to a quick video, a quick message from our title sponsor, Metal Pless. And let's hear what they have to say.
Metal Pless, the most profitable choice. The snow removal industry has never been more complex. To be profitable, you must choose the right tool for the right job. The Metal Pless snowplow, combined with its patented live edge technology, has become the #1 choice for snow fighters across North America, Europe, and Asia. The live edge technology allows the cutting edge of the plow to fully contour the surface of the ground. Our unique concepts have allowed snow fighters to be more efficient, reduce maintenance costs, and in turn, create larger profits. In today's market, operating the most versatile piece of equipment, combined with massive salt savings, thanks to the patented live edge technology, are the reasons why Metal Pless is the obvious choice.
Yeah, wow. That's some really good stuff there. I think
A lot
the
of
one thing
energy.
that comes to mind, yeah, it's a lot of energy, a great video. But the one thing that comes to mind is a vendor is interested in allowing their clients to be more profitable, be more sensitive to the environment, be more efficient. That's really what it's all about, right? When you're trying to make more, you're trying to, earn more, trying to save more, trying to build your business. When a vendor is looking out for you making more money, it's like a great, a hand in glove connection. So that's some good stuff.
Well, it's true, and I think it speaks volumes to who Metal Pless is as well, Billy. And I'm glad you mentioned that. Right, as we look at building relationships to last a lifetime with our clients, right, that is what Metal Pless is doing. They're building relationships, they're building products with their clients to last a lifetime, and
Mm.
so that's why they've made this wonderful statement too, right, about always copied, never duplicated.
Oh, 100%. I mean, we've moved all our pushers, our hydraulic wing pushers are all Metal Plus now. We've tried all the other competitors. I mean, everybody has kind of their own mousetrap, but I think the way that Metal Plus treats their clients and the way they invest in technology to give their clients the best just made so much sense for us, and having them as part of our show is just special.
So true, so true. Well, with
Yeah.
that, why don't we get on with the show? We've got a great guest today, and excited
Yes,
to
we
have
do.
Patrick Surs join us from Site One. And so, Patrick, welcome to the show, man.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me on. Pleasure
Yeah,
to be
we're
here. Yeah,
super stoked
Welcome,
for you to
Patrick.
be here, right? And
it's exciting.
one of the things that Billy and I have, of course, been really excited about with the show is that this is an international show, right? I'm from Canada, Billy's from the U.S., and we've got two great countries that are coming together, and we've really just got an amazing industry represented by amazing people, such as yourself. And
Mm.
so this is an exciting topic that I thought, when we had this idea to talk about building relationships that last a lifetime, I'm so excited that we had the opportunity to connect on this topic and to really dive in to what this means and what it's meant, not only to our relationship, you and I, where we first met, of course, here at Garden Grove, when you were as a team member in our organization. You learned a lot. You got inspired, right? And I think it really gave you a vision,
Yeah.
that things were bigger. The vision was bigger than what we had for you at Garden Grove. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah. So, 2010 came on board with Garden Grove, and yeah, just amazing people there. Really engaging, really enthusiastic about working in the landscaping industry. While I was there, I met Jamie Riddell, who is the area manager of Eastern Canada for what is now Site One Landscape Supply, and he had some connections and ended up getting me my job after I worked for Garden Grove with a company called Turf Systems and Alan White, another very knowledgeable person in my network. And from there, an opportunity came open with what was John Deere at the time, and came on board with them as a CSSR, and went from CSSR to assistant branch manager, and 3 years ago into outside sales.
That's amazing.
Oh, that's
What
great.
a journey.
What
What
a
a
great
story.
path.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, I think
So,
we all have similar paths. I think what happens is the opportunities that present themselves when you work hard and you show up every day and you do all the things that your boss or your colleagues ask of you. You start to get noticed, right? You start to be someone on people's radar, and when opportunities within organizations open up, you're the one that's being considered. So when I hear someone moving their way through an organization, that just tells me that that's invested. invest in growing their own personal brand as well as helping grow the company. So I love to hear the steps within an organization, because that speaks volumes. Great job.
Right. And I mean, certainly working for Garden Grove, I think that was an excellent place to start because they're multifaceted. So, I mean, I came on board simply to do maintenance, and then had an opportunity to get into irrigation and learn about lighting and property enhancement and construction. So, fantastic place to start my career.
Yeah, and that was the beauty of Site, with the attraction with Site One, right? Because it gave you all of this opportunity now to connect with the industry and support the industry from Site One's perspective as a supplier, which is amazing, right?
Right.
And,
Well, I mean, yeah. Sorry, David. Go ahead. Yeah.
no, go ahead.
I just had a point. I mean, you quickly realize working for a distributor and at a branch of a distributor, you're kind of this hub. So, I learned a lot being in the field, but then you're meeting all sorts of other different people that, are different facets of the industry and have different information and experiences to offer. So it's invaluable that way. Yeah.
Right from the get-go, when you and I worked together at Garden Grove, and when you were here in our company, you were really good at supporting our clients already then. You had a passion for people that was very clear. You loved people. And it was amazing to see you already shining in your role through the various different disciplines that you were doing here. It's no surprise to me that you are where you are now and you're doing what you're doing, right? It warms my heart, and it really just thrills me, right, to see where you are, because I saw that already then. And so it's just really amazing now. So a little bit about your commitment, your passion, right? Your ether, right, with your clients, who you are to your clients, right? And who you knew you always wanted to be. Let's talk a bit about that, right? And your role at Site One and what you've been doing over the years.
Sure. Well, just to kind of to the point you just made, it's interesting, and I've talked to some colleagues that are like this. I'm actually pretty introverted, but I love connecting with people. So kind of conflicted in that way, but in a good way. My desire to help people, I think, is really where the desire for that connection stems from. And you talk about passion. Well, I earlier on never realized that my career was going to be in landscaping, but I really enjoy the work, and I love talking to all of our clients about their various problems and the solutions that they need, and I really get into it, and I always keep in mind kind of that human element. I don't necessarily think about my role or what their role is, but more here I am, here's somebody who is bringing me a problem they have or something they need to solve, and just my desire to collaborate with them and help them figure it out. That's really a driving force.
I like the idea that you have you take on the role of providing solutions for your customers. I think a lot of times the best salespeople, the best customer service reps, the best support systems within organizations are ones that listen. They do a really, really good job of listening and then going back to their toolbox and coming back with solutions. And, you said a couple of things there where you really enjoy helping people, right? So you see someone that's in need, you can digest what their need is and then go to your team and say, hey, I see David and his team need this. I think we can provide that would really help them, or that would really make them, happy. Like, I think that's, making people happy, I think is a, kind of intuitive way of good salespeople that want to make people happy. I think there's a connection there. You're making a personal connection, and it flows a little bit, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. And I think, I mean, you think about the business side of it, the sales side, and the monetary element. But really, when you're just going out and you're helping provide solutions to people, the result of that is the sale, right? But when the driving force, like that spearhead, is always going out and wanting to help people and being reliable to them, to use your own network and your own breadth of experience and knowledge to help them solve that problem. That's it. And then again, as I said, a result of that is kind of the sales that come with it.
Oh, that's great.
Well, and that's the stuff, right? You mentioned it, Billy, and you followed through on that, Patrick, which is that keeping the customer happy. What are the things that keep the customer happy, right? Relationships being the key. How do we continue to maintain and foster relationships, right? And I think that's been a big part of your story too, is fostering and maintaining these relationships. Tell us a little bit about some best practices and what you see around that.
Yeah, I mean, I think first and foremost, and kind of a no-brainer, I guess, is you want to be reliable with these people. You want to be dependable. You want to be there for them when they reach out, whether it be call, email, show up at the branch, call you to a meeting wherever their office might be. I think that's one of the biggest elements to it, right? And then when you guys can connect and learn about each other from each other, find out what's going on in their world, and their business, and then utilize your network and everything that you've learned kind of up to that point in order to provide them a solution. That's a standing point. And I've listened to a lot of audiobooks, and I've always been interested in psychology, and one of the things I've heard in a lot of books about business is you get to know somebody, and it kind of creates this visceral reaction, and really what that is just that desire to want to work with this person because you like them. You learn some personal things about them along the way, and you end up being that first call, and that just, you build upon that.
Well, that's great. David and I have both agree that people do business with people they like and trust, right?
Right.
Developing a trust-based relationship, someone you like. I don't think any of us have a tremendous enjoyment about buying a car, right? Car purchasing seems to be a pretty stressful It's very much a transaction. It's never really relational.
Right.
But if you have a relationship with a car salesperson, you're gonna go to that dealership because you develop a relationship, even though the process isn't something you're really that crazy about. You have a relationship there, so that person might make it easier, make it less arduous. So the fact that when you say you're building relationships, you're getting to know people, you're asking them questions outside of what their needs are. How's the kids? Is a softball team still doing well? I know your son or daughter was playing hockey. What's going on with dance? Like, those things mean something. They might seem like
Absolutely.
trivial, kind of pass the time. I think they really mean, and I'm a firm believer of, get to know somebody before you can sell them something. Get to know them, and
Right.
I
Yeah.
think that would be the key to some of your successes. You've been doing that.
Well, that's a great point, and I mean, you think about what you're offering as a service, either as a contractor or we have great programs as a distributor, in that, and sure, you can get out the word and speak to that, but when you're speaking to somebody that you built that trust with and built that relationship with, you get so much more traction with it, because they trust you, they want to do business with you. There's a guy out in Ottawa, a buyer for a good company of ours, or a good customer of ours. And we've developed a good relationship. And we were talking about how developing a strong relationship with someone, even a personable one, it doesn't always necessarily win you the business, but it wins you the opportunities for the business. So when they think, hey, I need this, or I have a problem, or whatever, you're the first person that comes to their mind. It's not necessarily always a best practice for a company to just buy from someone they like, because maybe the deal's not right. But to be given those opportunities to enact upon, that's really important.
Like
one thing that, as we're chatting, that comes to mind, and that's so powerful, is the fact that Site One provides a great product, right? Site One provides a great service, right? A great support, right? To its contractors, to its customers. But at the end of the day, it comes back to the relationship, right? And all the things that you are doing continually to foster that relationship, right? And deepen it. Like Billy, you said, right? It's knowing, it's getting personal, knowing the family, knowing what matters to them, knowing the things they love, right? And it all ties into really the next part of the conversation, which is take care of the people, take care of the relationship,
Right.
and the things that surround that. Salespeople are naturally wanting to always, sell their service, right? Sell their product, sell what they do, right? But we're learning more and more, right, that it's about the things that we do with our listening skills, right, that make for the successful relationship. Let's talk a bit about that. Taking care of the people, taking care of the relationship. What are some things and some best practices that you see?
Well, yeah, absolutely. And kind of just to that point, I mean, from a distributor standpoint, we try to choose the products that are desired in the marketplace, or the various markets that we deal with. They're no different than the the other distributors in the area. It's the same product. It really comes down to the service we offer. That's what sets us apart. That's what gives people the desire to want to buy from Site One. So, our focus is always that, take care of the people, stay in contact with them, make sure you're reliable, be transparent with them, be honest with them, all these qualities. That's what attracts our customers and keeps them with us, the loyalty. Yeah.
Yeah, the loyalty is huge. I mean, we're a Site One user. We have them in our market, obviously, and I think we go there. And a lot of times we go there for information, right? You've said, Patrick, you and I spoke recently about you being inside sales, and you have someone that enters the branch, and they're obviously coming there with some need. You just sit there and you listen to them, and you provide them, information. Maybe it's suggestions, maybe it's resources. Maybe it's something you said transparency. Maybe it's something you can't do, but you refer them to somebody that can, really. And I think that
right.
To me, everybody, time is limited, right? Everybody would love to have an extra day in the week, and what thing we lack is the ability to extend time. So if there's someone's going in there and you're taking the respect to treat them, promptly and give information and heading them in the right direction, I think that's another way to build these clients for life. Is when someone goes in and says, that guy Patrick, he really took care of me. I mean, I go back to the old Lesco days when the Lesco counter was walk in, there was one guy there, drive through, they were selling fertilizer and all the different, lawn care products. And I remember I was a young business owner. I didn't really know what certain products would do, wouldn't do, what had more iron. And he stood there and took the time for me to tell me what to do and how to use it and how to get best practice. I still do business with that person today, 30 years later. So that's what I think. That's what you're articulating here is Site One has built a brand that they want that to be part of their brand, is people that come back for years and years and years, because people change jobs, but they still have an opportunity to buy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. No, the people is a strength. And you bring up a very good point. I mean, timely service is a very important thing, and being able to understand, if somebody has a little bit longer to talk or a little bit less, or what the urgency of the job is. And that's another a quality that people really appreciate, when you can get them a quick answer, quick solution. And then if you don't have it, but you have a network that you can kind of lean on and get them the information that they need and really respect their time of their business, that they don't forget.
True. So true.
Well, and you learned a lot being you were inside sales, right? Branch manager, right? You've known from the inside out, right? The different personalities, the different people that come in, right? Their different needs, right? Not everyone's the same. So you've really been able to, over the years, to cultivate a skill, right? About how to read the people, right? How to read their need. And I think that's what's made it very interesting progression for you to now be a key account manager in your role, which I'd like to talk a bit about as it relates to knowing your client, right? Because you're in a role now, Site One is very diversified, serving the landscape and winter needs, right? Because I know that there's a full cycle service, right? That of course you're providing to your clients. Talk a bit about being there for your clients, what that looks like right now in your role as a key account manager, and how you care for your client.
Sure. Yeah. And so, as you said, I mean, before when I was inside sales, I'm going to mention this. So, it's a kind of a bit of social intelligence. I feel that maybe I kind of came about that naturally. Maybe some other people have to work at it a little bit more, but that's certainly, a skill I utilize to understand, custom tailor how I deal with certain clients. When I was in the branch, they would come to me and I would see, all sorts, big, small, various different backgrounds and different work they were doing, and now I've been given a list where I go out and take care of these larger clients that we have, all of that's given me great experience and understanding on how to deal with them all, because it's not one size fits all. You kind of got to have to, again, custom tailor how you deal with various clients and who they are, the personalities, and what they do.
Yeah, that's a great point. I think when the clients are the ones you're dealing with is we're familiar with dealing with our key account manager here in the U.S. and in Boston. But I think what happens is I know what happens is we get into a situation where the landscape architect or the designer is driving a design, through the process. And we sometimes have to use our key account manager as a buffer and use them as
Mm.
the resource to say, hey, you know what? The contractor wants to do this, but in my experience, I'd like to recommend this, and I think it would do just as well. So sometimes the
Right.
key account manager can be the voice of reason with a landscape architect that has a drawing that together on the 34th floor of his building and doesn't really make sense in the field.
Right.
Right. So your
Right.
practical
Right.
knowledge, your
Absolutely.
boots on the ground, your experience with a shovel in your hand or something that said, this guy's done it, and he's bringing us a good opportunity to maybe do a substitution or even an upgrade or a downgrade. I mean, some of these designs come out, they're just stuffed with plants. And you could say, listen, there's 38 plants in this area. I think you only need a dozen. And I think it'll be
Right.
fine. And that sometimes makes the customer feel right, because you got all this the resource coming from your key account manager, your material supplier. That's like, wow, all right, these guys use great vendors to bring us the materials and ideas that can make my landscape or my lighting or my irrigation better. So good for you to be able to recognize that.
Right, absolutely, yeah, and I mean that's a good quality I think I possess is having that 5 years of field experience under my belt. I take on new clients and everything, and they always ask, have you done the work? I know not all the people on our sales team necessarily have that. They're coming from different angles, different directions, different skill sets, and everything. But that's certainly a benefit. Having the hands on the tools and the product, and have put it in, and all that. Yeah, it means a lot.
That's great.
Well, and that's the being there for them when they need you, right? And I think that you've both touched on that. It also has to do with savings, cost cutting or savings, right? Helping with budget, helping with planning.
Right, absolutely.
What do you see, Patrick, as your role as a key account manager when it comes to even coaching, right? Mentoring, right?
Yeah.
And even providing that hand holding, right? Just to dig a little deeper on this, right? I think it's a great point, right? About being there for a client, knowing your client. And the role we play too, right, as a key account manager for supporting them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you deal with some guys; they're very self-sufficient. They know what they're doing. They've been doing it for a long time. But I really like and appreciate being able to take in a new contractor that's never done anything before. Maybe irrigation or lighting or whatever before, and getting them started. It's a long game, but a phenomenal way to build loyalty.
Yeah, and your business is so focused on diversification, right? Supply diversification. So kind of one-stop shop. But the ability for someone to be a unicorn in that environment, that's pretty special. If you can go in there and give them on multiple layers of your business, I think again that's another level of respect that contractor will have for you. To say, not only does he help me with my basic needs, but he's helping me grow my business. He's helping me become more profitable. We talked about on the top of the show. Metal Pless has a business model. As a business model, they want their clients, the people they sell product to be more profitable. So I think Site One probably looks at that and does it as well.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, we got a phenomenal internal training program. They put a lot of time and effort behind that to make sure that their staff are properly trained. If they don't have the field experience necessarily, but absolutely, profitability and sharing all that you've learned with them. I mean, I love talking shop. Once I was the time, we could talk nonstop about it. But absolutely.
Yeah.
It's something that I just thought of that is a big part of this too, right? Is for us as contractors, and I think for anybody that depends on their suppliers, such as we do with Site One, your contractors are your customers, right? But as contractors, we all have a knowledge base, right? We all know what we want. We all think we know what we need, but we do rely on Site One to support us, right? Site One is I always like to say our suppliers are as important to us, if not even more important than our customers, right? And so what you are to us as a supplier is huge, because you are in so many ways more to us than even our customer is, because you're supporting us as contractors in ways that we don't even sometimes know that we need the support. You're seeing things that we don't maybe see. Right. And I think that to me is the beauty of the relationship, a successful relationship with our suppliers, right? You're the ones who make us better. You really do. And I think Site One does a great job at that.
Well, we love collaborating. We love, being part of our customers' teams, right? I mean, that integration. I think that's really important for sure.
Hmm.
Mm.
Right. And
I think,
yeah,
yeah, no, that's
go ahead.
great. I mean, I think the ability for your team to be able to educate. You mentioned education. I think your corporation is educating your staff. But I think
Hmm.
if I'm a listener to this show and I'm thinking about where my next purchase is going to come from nursery stock or irrigation or lighting, I don't have enough time to do the research, but I could walk into one of your branches and sit down with one of your, CSRs or your inside salespeople and get the information immediately. So I
Right.
think the fact that your organization is willing to invest in your people the way that the doctors need them to be is a really, really smart way to, again, we're talking about, clients that last a lifetime. I would definitely, keep that in mind if I'm a listener and I needed to know something. Going online and Googling something is one thing, but sitting there and having a physical conversation with somebody that's been there, done that, I think is really powerful.
Be a lot more value to it. Yeah, absolutely, Billy. Yep.
Yeah,
Hmm.
for sure. For
We
sure.
talk about you are the brand, right? And that's such a huge part of knowing your client and supporting them, but building relationships that last a lifetime. You are the brand, right? What does that look like, right? How do we know that we have a great brand? What are the things that we need, right, to have and develop a great brand?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you want to work for a company that you believe in and is moving in a forward positive direction, and makes you feel good about it. And you can stand behind and go out and wear the brand
Hmm.
because you do that, and your customers win, and you win, and your teammates win, and the company wins as a whole. Um, that's it. I mean, that's everything.
Yeah, we have a motto here at Outdoor Pride. We always say protect the brand, right? Hold
Mhm.
up the integrity of the brand. If there's
Yeah.
something that's
Hmm.
potentially going to tarnish the brand, step in the way. It's almost like stepping in front of a train. If going off
Hmm.
the brand train is going off the tracks, you got to get in front of it, right?
Hmm.
So being able to stand there and be proud of the brand actually tells a great story. You
Mhm.
can you can get excited, like David said. We get on the show, we have a lot of energy. People that talk to us about the show, they're like, I don't know how you guys do it. You're like talking a mile a minute, and you're telling stories, and you're having a lot of fun with it. But I think if you're in this business and you're focused on you being a really good brand for yourself, whether it's with an organization or if you're an individual contributor inside your organization, that's what I think people. Again, it goes back to people want to do people what they like and trust, right? So having a great brand,
Mhm.
having a great veneer, having a lot of confidence, having a lot of swag, I guess swagger, kind of like a little bit of I got this, I got you, don't worry about it. Like putting people at ease, I think is a nice way to kind of prop up your brand as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, I mean, like a lot of companies, we have a mission statement. We have, what we call our DNA. And, we like to think that, all the people on our team, possess that DNA and those qualities, and everyone's
Mhm.
working on that and working together. And, that's just it. That's what Site One is. And, it's passionate people working together with strength
Mm.
and going for a win for everybody.
I love that
Love it.
point. I think it's such a great point, right? And Billy, you have this, at Outdoor Pride. Patrick, you're talking about this right now with Site One, right? We need great teams that are behind us, right? That DNA, right?
Mhm.
That brand, right? Billy, recently chatting with one of your sales team members, right? What your great brand is what drives your ability to do what you get to do every day for your clients, right? And
Mm.
it just comes down to our people. Patrick, we
Mhm.
you know that too, right? We're only as good as our team. Site One's got a
Absolutely.
great team.
Absolutely. A lot,
And
lot of horsepower, as we like to say.
and
Yeah.
so right, talk about what happens, right, when there's a problem, right? So let's say something doesn't go well, right? Because not
Yeah.
everything is gonna go, it's not all roses,
No.
right? And
Right.
it's easy for us to ignore the negatives, right? But
Yeah.
sometimes things don't go well. How do
Yeah.
you protect the brand when things don't go well?
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, I think those are, I mean, obviously nobody likes when there's problems or issues to deal with, but those are the opportunities you have where you can come together as a team, use your strength, use your horsepower, and that's what it's all about, leaning on team, knowing where the strengths are, and pulling together and doing it right for the customer.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a motto, hashtag one team. We have each other's back. That's really what it means. And I think it goes even a little further than that, because I think, you know, they'll hang out together outside of work. They'll go play golf
Mhm.
together, or they'll go to they're being invited to each other's weddings. So I think when the work content gets a little heavy and it gets a little difficult, if you look into your right and your left, and it's not just a coworker, it's actually a friend, right? So the depth
Mhm.
of your team will allow you to hit those problems, solve those problems quicker and easier. So when things don't go well, you kind of need a few people that you can kind of count on, you can lean into, right? So, Alvin, 1+1 doesn't necessarily, you like 1+1 to answer equal 3, right? So you can get a really two strong
Yeah.
people. You got almost like, you get that really great horsepower to be able to, solve a
Yeah.
problem when it doesn't go well. So that's great. I love
Yeah.
the theme that you guys take that into consideration.
Yeah. Good chemistry counts for a lot. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and that's
Yeah.
when our
That's,
clients see how good we are, right, Billy and Patrick, right?
Mhm.
That's when they
yeah.
see how good we are, right? That's when they see how committed we are and how strong we are as a team, right? When we can rally through
Yeah.
difficult situations and or when something doesn't go well, we're supporting each other, right? They see
Mhm.
how we're lifting each other up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, funny story. I heard at one point when IBM first came out with their initial computer, they actually put a little bug in it, a little problem, so they could show
Mm.
people how great their service department
Mm.
was. I
Oh,
was like, wow,
interesting.
that's pretty interesting. I don't know if that's really true or not. I've done some research. It seems to be true, but that's a nice way to say, you know what? Hey, I know you got a problem, but look at our service department. Look how great we are. Our customer service
Interesting.
department. So that's way back when. That was probably when the computers was, the size of our room. But
Yeah.
no, it's great. It's great to be
Yeah.
able to. It's great to be able to solve problems. You have to be able to. Sometimes you can turn a negative into a positive really, really quickly too. I think.
Mm.
I think a lot of customers, a lot of clients expect when things go bad, it's going to go from bad to worse. And I think when you can
Mm.
make it go from bad to great, you really have something. You
Mm.
know.
Mm.
Absolutely. I would agree.
Yeah, that's a great nail on the head. I like that. Right, hitting the
Yeah.
nail on the head. Bad to great, right? Because at the end of the day,
Yeah.
that's the goal, right? And
Hmm.
at the end of the day, that's how we know that we have a strong relationship with our client too. That when they see how we've handled those situations and how we perform as organizations. I heard a statement once, and I think it's a powerful statement that your network is your net worth, right? And I
Mm.
think it speaks volumes to what we do every day and why we do it, right? Patrick, let's chat a bit about that as we also wrap up our time together. I can't believe we're already here, but as we look to your network is your net worth. What are some of the things that you're doing, and how do you develop and continue to grow your relationships with your clients under that concept? Right, that of course your money is where your relationship is.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think of the number of people that I've met in the last 15 years in this industry. Certainly way more good than bad, and have offered me so much mentorship and tutelage and everything. And all I can do is take that and kind of keep that in my head, just as a tool to service the next customer. And that's what helps the network grow. And as you said, the overall net worth. So it's just always moving forward, developing, building, keeping in touch with people, not burning bridges, because you just never know with people.
Mm, that's
Yeah,
very true.
that's interesting. I'm considered a master networker. I have my PhD in networking. But the one thing that I do, and I think it can help you along the way, is one is be willing to take help from somebody, right? People want to help you, right? And if you're closed off to not accepting that help, they won't be likely to help you in the future. So if someone says, "Hey,
That's
I'll
a
give you a
great
hand
point.
with that," or "I'll give you that," I love to give you that name, and let me, and then don't blow it off and say, "Oh, I can find that on my own." Take their help. And then the other thing that I've done a lot of
Absolutely.
is when I get out in a networking situation, I don't introduce that I'm trying to figure out who the next decision maker is at a certain corporation. I introduce myself as hey, I'm Billy. This is what I do, but how can I help you? Who do you need to meet? Who would you like to meet? Who is someone in my network that I can help introduce you to? And it automatically drops their guard. Like, he's not looking for anything. He's willing to help me. And I think that's a nice way to kind of, nurture a new network partner, right? Someone that you could trust in going forward. But it also feels good. Like, again, going back to that, helping somebody, helping people and feeling good about it.
For sure.
Yeah,
That's
it's
great.
it's the power in the relationship, right? And at the end of the day, right? We say that we're put your money where your mouth is, right? But it's really the value, right? That we're money is a as a tangible thing that we can do as a transactional thing, but our worth. What's our worth, right? What's the value, right? And what's the value of these relationships? Money comes and goes, but what's the value of the relationship? And so I love that. I think when we look at this whole storyline of building relationships that last a lifetime, there's joy in the journey, right? And it's purely that it's a journey, and it's something that even speaks to our relationship, Patrick, that goes back so many years, right?
Yeah.
About the joy that's in the journey. And I know as we wrap up our time together today, you've even experienced joy in your journey recently. You and your wife. You have a young. Tell us your joy in the journey story, even personally, as we wrap up our time together, and
Yeah,
and just on a
so
personal note.
absolutely. Yeah. So, yeah, at a personal level, I mean, my wife and I were thrilled to welcome our son a year ago. He just turned 1 last Thursday. Yeah, fantastic. So, we're growing our family. It's very exciting. Yeah, great joy in our lives. Yeah.
I love it. I love
Yeah.
it. And what a gift! What a gift, Matthew is to you, right?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
Yes.
and I wonder. I love these names, right? That have meaning. It's so beautiful, Matthew. One of the things too that I'll never forget, and Billy, you'll love this too because you love music. Patrick's an amazing drummer.
Oh,
Oh, excellent.
Are you still drum? Yeah, yeah. He's an amazing musician. Are you still playing?
yeah, a little bit, not in a band, but I have an electronic kit. My wife and I live in a condo, and so I can't do the acoustic thing
Yeah.
anime, but still
Nice.
keep it up to keep my chops up. And yeah, I mean that's where I came before I got in this industry. Actually, I tried my hat in the ring for music production and went to school for that. And
Yeah.
anyway, it's all part
Well,
of the journey, right? Yeah, I
it's
learned things in
amazing.
Great
that I
stuff.
apply here and dealing with people. And yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's an exciting part of my life as well. Yeah.
That's great. That's
Totally.
great.
Well, it's been
Awesome.
special having you on the show.
Thank you
And
so
we
much, guys. I
wish you
really
and your wife
appreciate it.
and Matthew all the best, right? And as you
Thank
continue to
you.
grow, of course, our paths will continue to cross,
For
and
sure.
as we stay connected. And yeah,
Yeah.
well done. I mean, well
Thank you
done.
so
Yeah.
much. Yeah, no, this is awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Great
Patrick.
experience.
Glad you could be with us. Glad you could share some of your thoughts. I think the listeners are going to really appreciate someone from your background, your experience, how they can be so not really thinking that you're going to be in the green industry and actually landing there and enjoying it. So I think that's a cool message too.
Thanks, Bill. I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
All the
Great.
best to you, Patrick.
Thank you.
Continued
Thank you, guys.
success.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah. Cheers.
I love it. I love it, Billy.
Wow.
It's been
Wow.
a lot of
He was
fun.
awesome. He was awesome. Great guest. And we've had a couple conversations
Yeah.
with him in the pre-show meetings, and he just really hit it out of the park. I think the listeners are really going to enjoy him. And the thing with this relationship that you and I had together, it all started on LinkedIn. So if you want to learn more
That's
about
right.
Patrick, you can get out and reach him on LinkedIn. I'm sure he's out there and willing to
Yeah.
chat with you if you have any questions about Site One or anything that he's doing and how he's done in his career.
Just quickly before we move to our final segment, I wanted to make sure that you saw.
Oh
I
yeah,
see
there we
you got your
go.
Garden Grove hat on, right?
Yeah, I
And
did. Yeah, the Garden Grove.
you,
Yeah, it's
you came to Canada, right, back in July, and I had the pleasure of coming to see you in Boston just a couple weeks
man,
ago as you hosted over
God, look
50
at that.
members to a great event. Wow, love it.
Yeah, we
Hey,
were fortunate. We were fortunate to be invited through the SIMA organization to host an event called Behind the Curtain, and this event is open to just 50 companies, about 100 attendees, and they get a chance to spend the day with our team and learn about how we operate our business. And we shared quite a bit. I mean, actually, we shared quite a bit with some competitors right in our backyard. And I think Mark and I and the leadership team all agreed that, the tide rises all boats. We've said that a lot. to be able to find ways to help individuals grow their business, improve their bottom line, I think it helps everybody, right? So if everybody's making a little bit more money, there's less, less low bidding in the market, and charging what we're worth. I think there's a little bit of a gap right now in the marketplace that our services are not as worthy and valued in customers' eyes. Sometimes they look like we're able to be, discounted a little bit, but in fact we can't. We can't be discounted. We have to hold our line. We have to grow. So having this event was one of those opportunities to kind of show our organization, show our team. Our team was able to show off how we build such a strong organization. So it was a lot of fun. It was great to have you and Paul in town. I mean, we just, yeah. Look at this. I had an
You were an
I've
amazing
been
host.
friendly. Yeah, we came down and we got to see Gillette Stadium, Patriots. 6 World Championships in the background there, and
Yeah.
we would innocently taking some photos out in the plaza. And a good friend of mine who was a field superintendent came out and offered us a chance to come on the field. So the 3 of us out there and just yucking it up a little bit, just having some fun. It was a blast. It was a blast to have you guys in the city, and look forward to me getting up to Canada next summer.
It was amazing. It was amazing being there with you. You were an amazing host. I can't thank you enough for the most special time. We had the most wonderful time. Everywhere I went with you, Billy, I saw the power of these words, right? Your network's your net worth. And had the privilege of just experiencing you even with your clients when there was an opportunity on some of the site touring we did. And, you were able to engage with one of your client contacts. And it was great to be with your team too, and just hearing their passion. And yeah, just amazing. A wonderful time.
It was a good example of salespeople getting out there and seeing properties and seeing customers and being visible, because we had an opportunity. I was touring you and Paul through some of our sites, and coincidentally, I just saw someone that I was familiar with, and honestly, I didn't really know, truthfully, why she was there, because she's someone that works in the industry, but not necessarily at that property. And I had an opportunity to go up and introduce myself, say hello, and oh, Billy, how you been? And what are you up to? And she's like, a matter of fact, I'm taking over as regional manager of this whole portfolio. I was like, how would I have ever had the opportunity to learn that? Maybe somewhere along the line, but physically shaking her hand, saying hello, reconnecting, and we've had multiple emails back and forth. So if you're a young salesperson, if you're an experienced salesperson, get out of your office, get out on the road, go see your properties, go see your clients, walk the properties, and learn what potentially could be a chance meeting, but it could turn into a great opportunity for new business if we're all out there trying to hunt new sales.
Amen. I couldn't agree more. Seeing the white of the eyes is where it's at, right?
Yeah.
Shaking the hand and seeing the white of the eyes. Billy, we've had a great episode here. We've got a great episode lined up. Let's talk a bit about what's coming.
Yeah, the next show we're going to talk to a good friend, Ryan Hazelton from Anderson Equipment. He's going to talk a little bit about operational excellence after he makes the sale, right? He is in the ether of selling us new machines and new loaders. But then once we receive that machine, what does he have to sit around and hope for? He hopes his team can support us in the way that he has supported us in the sale. So there's no delta there with him. He's totally confident. But I want to have you all, the listeners, hear from him how he's able to create that partnership between his service department, his service manager, his parts department, as a road salesperson. There's a lot to learn there, and I think a lot of us rely on our operations teams to make us look good. So I think you're going to enjoy listening to Ryan. He's a great friend, great guy. So really looking forward to it.
Yeah, well said. Looking forward to it as well. Well, here we are, another great episode. Hey, can't believe we're already ready to wrap this one up. A huge shout out to Metal Pless, our title sponsor, and to SIMA and Landscape Ontario, our alliance partners. We couldn't do it without them.
Yeah, man, it's been fun. Great guests. Really loving the energy around the show. I'm glad our listeners have given us feedback, and we're hearing really great comments about stuff. So if you're out there selling and you're trying to make a living doing it, go sell something and have some fun doing it.
I love it. What you do today sets you up for success tomorrow.